No man will make a great leader who wants to do it all himself or get all the credit for doing it. Andrew Carnegie. I was curious to find out how someone could become a successful leader of a mixed background team in a corporate environment, and luckily I had the privilege of interviewing a leader that has helped me to realize that leadership is more a function of serving than I ever realized before. He does this by bringing out the strengths of individuals to realize a common goal. Jeremy Cronenberger, the #1 ranked supervisor on GoDaddy's mid-market business team, and my current supervisor, has been taking on leadership roles since he was a young adult. I uncovered that he feels that natural-born leaders are a real thing, but anyone can become an effective leader if they are determined to be. Without burdening him with the definition of leadership styles, I was curious to find out what his true style would be. I hypothesized that he would be square within the book's definition of relational leadership, and more specifically the leader-member exchange theory, rather than the vertical dyad linkage model, described on pages 91 and 90 respectively. I was right to a certain extent, but he definitely ties together other aspects as well. Before becoming a successful supervisor with GoDaddy's mid-market business team, Jeremy honed his leadership skills in various ways. He considers his first leadership role to be his time as an Eagle Scout. Although he did not have a higher rank or more power than his peers, he took this time to hone his ability to keep others in order. During hikes, he would take the lead and try to point out interesting things in addition to warning of things that might be dangerous. He remembered a time where a distracted hiker almost walked into a patch of bushes with thorns. He tried not to single out the scout because he didn't want to make him feel foolish, but rather make it a teachable moment about the different types of plants that grew along the trail. Jeremy mentioned that his early motivation for this role can be traced back to his scout leader pushing him to be at his best. The next leadership role that he recounted was his time as a captain on his high school hockey team. He was voted into this role by his teammates and felt a great sense of pride in it. He worked very hard to be a successful forward on the team, and he felt that his time and talent, dedication, was recognized by his team and his coach. He used this time to work with his teammates to become a cohesive unit and enjoyed giving motivational talks. I was curious about when he would give these talks, and was surprised to find out that he tended to give them more often during practice than during games. When he was captain, the team was mostly seniors and tended to be very motivated on game days, while practices tended to lack intensity. With Jeremy as captain, the team won their conference and made it to regional finals that year. Although he doesn't want to take credit for it, he did feel proud of their success during the year that he was captain. After high school, Jeremy went to college and pursued a business management degree. During his college career, he took a job at a local gas station. He worked about 9 months as a cashier and general employee, after which time his boss asked him if he would like to be a shift leader. He liked the idea of being in charge and being able to tell people what to do, and decided to pursue the promotion. It ended up being challenging because a lot of the people that worked for him did not respect his authority. Rather than rock the boat, he ended up taking a lot of the tasks on that he was supposed to be having other people do. After a while, he began to assert himself and demand more respect. This still did not go well, but the employees no longer blatantly disregarded what he had to say. After a while, he started to focus on creating fun competitions that seemed to help people be more motivated. By the time he graduated and decided to move on, his boss said that he had gone through the greatest transition she had ever seen in the role. Right after graduating, Jeremy took a role with GoDaddy as a sales and technical support representative on the phone. He really liked the fact that his pay was closely tied to his effort because part of his compensation was commission. He leveraged his people skills into becoming a successful salesperson and spent his downtime at work honing his technical skills. He was approached a number of times by leadership asking him to become a coach. He did not want to pursue those attempts because he was focused on making money at the time. It was not until his supervisor approached him and asked him to be a sort of quasi-coach that he began to strongly consider it. He began to run team huddles and team meetings with some frequency, and also took on the role of an expert on his team. He also took time to become a mentor to one of the newer representatives on his team. Rather than just putting goals in front of the rep that he was mentoring, he decided to have the rep decide which areas he would like to improve incrementally and then formulate a plan to help. The rep wanted to increase his daily sales, so Jeremy focused on making him more efficient and increasing his average order size. By focusing on these areas rather than a sales number itself, the rep was able to blow his own goals out of the water after 45 days. Being able to help somebody was much more, help someone else be successful was much more rewarding than he ever expected, and he parlayed this into a role as a supervisor. He actually did not get the supervisor promotion the first 2 times he applied, but the 3rd time was the charm, and he accepted the supervisor role. Within about a year's time, he was asked to take over a mid-market team in GoDaddy's mid-sized business department, and over the past 6 months has helped leverage his relational leadership style to get his team up 4 spots into the number 1 spot for the department. After sitting down and conducting this interview with Jeremy, I'm able to confidently conclude that the relationship model, specifically leader-member exchange theory, seems to be an effective way to manage a team in a corporate environment with mixed backgrounds. Thank you.